here you can see the rust spots that I've got there. So all of that will be done. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and another video in the 911 restoration series. It's actually a bonus material video because I realised when I was putting the content together for episode 8, actually through somebody's comment, that they hadn't seen me dismantling the front end with regards to taking off the wings and so on. And I knew I'd actually filmed that at the time and went back through the content on my phone and realised that, yeah, there was a whole bunch of video footage there which I'd missed out. So essentially what I do in the end of episode 5 is I leave you with a picture of the underside of all the rubbed down rust spots on the car. And then in episode 6, I think, I go into the replacing the unbody studs. Then 7 is tidying up the gearbox, and when I come back to it in 8, I've already taken off the front wings, and essentially that's missing. So this will be going back a little bit in time, but I wanted to show you this content because it's actually quite interesting, and it's important to see the method and the steps of removing the front wings. So here it is. Sorry it's a bit late, and I hope you enjoy. Okay, so I've got everything ready underneath for touching up those rust spots. What I'm going to do now is, as a precautionary measure, I've just dusted off the car, so I used the air gun to get all the dust off, and I'm going to use paper just to cover up all of the paint so I don't get any overspray. While I'm allowing that to dry under there, the etch primer on all of the cleaned up spots, I took the bonnet off. So that obviously entails taking the lights out with the special tool. There are 3 screws here, and the same on the other side, and there's a whole bunch of them underneath. And then to take the air ducts off, there are the hex nuts or screws all around. So actually I did this in 2017, and just looking at it now, let's have a look. They don't look too bad. I mean, there's a little bit of grub down there, but nothing like when I took them out the first time. So the question really is, do I replace these or not? They work fine, but I'm gonna have to have a look at that, because I'm gonna take them all off anyway, because I want to clean up these brackets because they're a bit rusted, get some new fittings here. But yeah, the question is whether I do them or not. I think they're about £100 each, and then maybe the water coolers as well. I'll have to just see how they are. So that is the wing off. That took quite a long time actually. Not because there are that many bolts. There's 1 there, there are 3 down there, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up here, and you have to take the bonnet off to get this one. But this was the problem. There was a bit of overspill on the sealant there, and that was just sticking the wing to it. You also have to be very careful here when you're taking it off, because just under here I did a couple of light scratches, but just make sure you tape out all the corners up and so on, and that'll be fine. But that means that can now be, still got to take some parts off that, but that can go off to painting. Just got to get the other side off now. This is the left-hand side radiator and aircon rad bracket, and basically I'm going to take out these bungs here and I'm going to clean it up. As you can see, it's got quite rusty. It's very low to the ground, very exposed, and all they do really is put a very thin film of paint on these things. It's quite amazing doing the work on this car to see how thin the metal is. I mean, obviously weight is a really big issue, but obviously longevity is also very important. So it's amazing how thin the metal is. Maybe they did it as a cost-saving solution. I don't know, but it's not great. I'm sure the metal on this Porsche on the 996 is much thinner than the 964s and the 993s. But anyway, so this is another job. And I'm going to, just to round up for today as well, I've got that wing off, as I showed you before. And I am going to take the other wing off, and I'm going to send those away to get them completely de-rusted. As you can see, there's quite a bit where you don't see, as well as the bubbling around here. And the reason for that bubbling is because from the factory, they put this strip of foam on the inside lip of the wing of the wheel arch here, and I guess it's to stop the wheel arch liner vibrating against the body. But obviously all it does is it just traps the water, and that's exactly what's happened here, and it started to rust. So that's not going to go back in. But otherwise, that's a wrap for today, I think, and I'll be back up tomorrow. Okay, so back up at the workshop, and I'm taking this wing off today. It's a bit more complicated than the other side because there's a carbon canister that you have to take out, which is basically these 3 connectors underneath. 2 connectors underneath there, that grey and the red one. There's one at the top just there. And then there's a screw which fits onto that fitting there. And then essentially it doesn't seem like it's going to come out, but then it's got these rubber bungs on the back which go into those fittings there, and you just have to very easily, or very, very carefully, just sort of pry it from side to side like that, and then it pops out. But it's pretty heavy. I dare say, I don't know how these things work. I know they sort of capture emissions, I thought, but whether it's just heavy because that's by design or whether it's heavy because it's full of stuff, I don't know. But it works. So, whoops, I'm gonna put it to one side and get the wing off. There is the other wing, and here you can see the rust spots that I've got there. So all of that will be done. Okay, so I thought I'd just show you the bolts that need to come out when you're removing the wing from the 996. So there's one, where's my pointer? There's one at the bottom of the wing down there. There's one there, and up in there. There is one, don't know if you can see it, but literally, see this bracket here at the end of the screwdriver? There's a stud there which comes down from the wing, so you have to take that off. That's a 10 mil, they're all 10 mils. And then up here, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wing nuts up there, wing bolts up there. And then you need to remove the 10 mil nuts off of this stay here, this support, top and bottom. And then you also have to remove the radiator shroud, which is the plastic part, and that bracket there. Okay, so I got that second wing off. It's slightly more complicated than the other side actually because of the fuel filler neck. And there are things you've got to look out for, like on this plastic support here is the emergency fuel cap release, so that gets sort of caught on there. There's this cable here, which is presumably the central locking, and otherwise same as on the other side. There's a bit of sealant here which sort of overspills, and it was stuck on that, so you have to very carefully cut that. But you see sort of all the rubbish there. Not too much really, but nonetheless, that's it there. So you can see the rust running along the top there. That's the worst of it really, and I've got some bubbling just sort of starting down here at the base. Okay, so I spent a bit of time up here today. I've been cleaning up the radiator and air conditioning condenser brackets. They're rusted in places. They sort of bubbled strangely. So I've rubbed them completely down with the angle grinder and painted them with red oxide this time. So got a nice thick coat on there. And then I'll probably coat them in stone chip after that. Okay, so I've just had a visit from the paint shop. A very nice gentleman, Autolackierer Knois heißt er, or he's called. And he's looked over the whole car. Basically, he's going to take the wings away on Monday. It's Friday this afternoon. It was Friday today, and he came and checked them out. He's going to pick them up on Monday. And he's also going to help me completely refinish the underside of the car. Because he said you have to be a professional to do that. And with all of the equipment and all the paints and all the underbody seal that I've bought from 3M, all of which are the original products for this car, he said it would be a shame if it went wrong and you had to do it again. So
He comes recommended to me from the special surfaces department of our company, which is, you know, incredibly high end. And I thought, wow, if we recommend him, then he must be very good, if not the best in the area. And just talking to him, he clearly knows his stuff. I've been through some paint shops in the past and I find it very, very difficult to get a good one. I found one good one in my life so far, which is Stock's Garage in Canterbury. I think they work for BMW, but I had my BMW painted, or parts of it painted, back in the day, and they were brilliant, and my dad used them too. But, you know, we'll have to see. But he really, really knows his stuff, and he's a lovely guy. So it's 0 degrees at the moment because we're in the middle of winter, but he said don't try anything until it reaches at least 10 degrees in this workshop. I mean, it has to be the height of summer before it reaches 10 degrees in here, but I'll have to leave it to sort of around March time, I think, which means I get a bit of time with this project, you know, because I've been doing so much work on it, and I'm going to need the time. You know, I've been doing so much work on it, you know, in a really short amount of time, but now I can just relax a little bit because, you know, nothing's going to happen quickly, especially when it comes down to paint. So I'm really pleased with that, and I'm probably going to have to take off so we can do a proper job under here, all of that pipe work, and possibly even, you know, if I want to get to all the parts round in here, because I have got some rust in there as well. It's far worse than I ever expected it was, but it's all doable, it's all savable, and I just need to do it now. So I'm going to have to take different parts of the car off. But on the basis that I'm doing quite a major restoration of this car now, I think that's the way forward. I've ordered new condensers, new radiators, new pipe work, new bits for the engine. I'm thinking about doing the clutch and the flywheel. So, you know, it's a major job. So why not go that extra step and absolutely get it spot on, done by a professional, so that it will be perfect. So that's what I'm going to do. See you next time.